Um, I think there's certainly some things you can learn, Dana, from year to year, things you can improve on. But, you got different personalities, you got different faces, you got guys coming in from different programs. We've been pretty fortunate. We've had great kids here, really, since I've been here. We've had guys that really embrace being at Youngstown State. This group is no different. We got a lot of guys that know how to win. They've come from winning programs. I think Spain really helped this group, Dana. Off the court, right? There's basketball, but then there's role identity. There's that time with each other away from basketball to learn each other's stories. I'm big on that. We do team retreat. We do a lot of character building things for individual guys, and then our team. This team has come along pretty nicely, to be honest with you. So we're excited to go play somebody else. It's one thing to play scrimmages, but we got to see, what we do. Both teams we start off with are tremendous programs. Got a lot of respect for Louisiana and obviously Michigan. Louisiana was undefeated at home last year. 27 wins, NCAA tournament the year before. They played in their conference championship. Bob does a great job. And then obviously Michigan filling in. Coach Martelli's there filling in. But, Juwan Howard has done a tremendous job there, Elite Eights, Big Ten program. So until we see what it looks like against those caliber teams, I still don't really know what we have. But so far I like our energy, I like our cohesiveness, and I like our talent. I think we have a lot of talent.
You mentioned the confidence you guys have in the offensive system that you built. What goes into implementing that with almost a whole new roster of guys, and how has that process been going?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Number one is if there's two on the ball, we got to pass the ball. Basketball is all about creating advantages, whether it's in transition, whether it's in isolation, whether it's an off-ball screening, pick and roll. Get two on the ball and pass the ball. And then when we pass the ball, we have to have great spacing. To have a great offense, you got to get stops, right? It starts in transition. We want to fight for space in the first 6-7 seconds of the shot clock. So what I mean by that is we get a rebound. We got to have vision. We got to see the floor. And then when things are even, we don't have mismatches in transition. We have to create that advantage, and we got to find it and keep it. We want to score 85 to 90 points a game. We want to be on the attack every single possession, whether seeing man, zone, doesn't matter. This group's been really good against zone. So sometimes, that takes a little time. But we got to get better, in certain areas. That's for sure. But that's our whole offensive philosophy, and it's worked. We've been one of the better offensive teams the last 4 years in the country. Last year we were top 5. Want to have that same philosophy year in and year out.
You guys mentioned the biggest emphasis this season was the defense. Have you seen that improvement here in practice and scrimmages?
Yeah, we guard the ball better. We have a little bit more size, so maybe we're not guarding the ball better because, Bryce and Dwayne were pretty good at it last year. But our guards are doing a good job trying to keep guys in front. That's the whole key to defense, right? Keep the man in front. But if we can't, we got to have support, whether it's from the wings or those forwards. We have much more size. This is probably the biggest team in school history, right? With 7'3" guy and a 7-foot guy and long, lanky wings that are athletic. So we need to be disruptive. Our whole thing on the defensive end, we need to be disruptive. We need to hold them to one shot. We have a shot profile we look for. Obviously we want to guard the paint. Can't give up step-in threes, and we don't want to put them on the foul line. Our guys are starting to understand our philosophy and how we want to play, and we got to execute those things.
You talked about how, the depth that you guys have built, being able to play 9-10 guys. So what does that allow you to do on both ends of the floor when you have that kind of depth?
Well, basketball is a very long season. It's so much different than a lot of other sports. 31 games. This year you're going to be playing one home game. You're going to be traveling. There's a lot of travel involved. There's a lot of, wear and tear, not only physically but mentally. So I think the deeper team that you can have, the more effective your guys can be when they're on the court. We're not asking guys to play 5- and 6-minute stretches. We talk about 2 to 3 minute stretches, and we're going to get you out, and we're going to put in another guy that's really good. We talked about sacrifice. We've got 10 starters. we think we have 10 really good players. So whoever starts the game may not necessarily end the game, but they're just starting us off, right? So we don't really care who starts the game. Our philosophy is we're going to play 10 guys and maybe 11. So we gotta have that mentality. Wear people out. Give us 2 or 3 really good minutes. We'll get you in, get you out, and wear teams down this year.
You guys struck while the iron was hot last year. How much did the collective help?
Well, I don't think it's, the one particular thing, Dana. I think the NIL collective is certainly a big piece to any program, right? Not just our program, but our football program, our women's basketball program. What makes Youngstown different, Dana, in my mind, is we don't have the Cleveland Browns. We don't have the Pittsburgh Steelers in our city, right? Pretty much our fan base is divided. Everybody I talk to, half of them like the Steelers, half of them like the Browns. In Youngstown, everybody loves the Penguins. So the support we're getting here in men's basketball has been tremendous, right? So our NIL, the next piece, and I can fully confidently say this, there will be an upgrade to Beagley Center starting April 1. There'll be an upgrade to our locker room. We've worked tirelessly on this project. It's been a group effort. It hasn't been just Coach Calhoun. It's been Ron Strollo. It's been Rocky Nolfi. It's been a group of guys in this community that believe in our basketball program. So facilities, NIL, budgets, you name it, everything's been raised, right? Because we saw 5,000 to 7,000 fans, Dana, in the last 8 or 9 games. And that's what you're building a program, right? In order to take the next step, we can't play in a building that hasn't been redone in 50 years, right? So those times are ending very, very soon. I'm very proud, and all our players should be proud, right? They're the ones that helped build this. It's a shame some of them don't get to see reap those benefits, but they'll be very proud when they come back here to understand that they laid the foundation. And it's not just last year's team, it's the last 6 years, a group of players that have come here and really put the program on the map. And it's a group effort, and I think our fundraising is at an all-time high. And we work at it. We had an event last night. I had 3 events yesterday on an off day. You got to work, right? Money just doesn't come to you. You got to get out there. You got to shake hands, and you got to have a vision of what you want, and you got to get it done, right? We got to upgrade everything, not just locker room, not just the inside. Our concourses are old. We've got pictures with plastic on them. I mean, those days are over, right? And I can't wait to April run to not have to look at that. To be honest with you.
Just like, obviously in the last week, it was announced there were some changes to how the NIT would be kind of picking teams. Obviously, that's something that would have affected you guys last season as a regular season champion, not winning the conference tournament. So what are your thoughts on just how that played out?
Yeah, you guys are asking great questions. Both guys, you guys have asked a lot of good ones. You guys asked good questions. Tragic. I think it was a tragic day for mid-major basketball. I hope somebody doesn't have to feel that this year, but they probably will. The chances of winning a regular season title and then going to win the tournament, we haven't seen that much in this league. It has happened, but it's very, very difficult. So for a team to win 20-something games, go through a grind of a conference, on the road, home games, battle injuries, and to win the conference championship and not go to the NIT, it's very eye-opening. And I text Ron and I text our commissioner, give our commissioner a lot of credit. She jumped right on it. Julie's a great leader. Various other ADs has spoke out about it. Robert Morris, Cleveland State's. Ron hasn't put out a statement yet, but I know where he feels. It's tragic, but it's the reality of men's college basketball. It's changing. The landscape has certainly changed, and I think the event that Fox is going to put on. Certainly, I think the NIT kind of made their move. So we'll see how all this thing plays out, but the game has certainly changed.
Coach, you have a lot of new players on this team this year. So just what was your message to Brandon as you welcome in the team chemistry, and kind of how do you feel that's been going so far?
Yeah, I think you have to, you can't talk. I think you have to embrace expectations. You have to raise expectations. We're picked 5th, so obviously there's not a whole lot of respect for us. That's okay. It's other people's opinions. But you have to have championship DNA, right? You have to not only, talk to these players about it, but you have to show them, right? You got to be early, you got to stay late, you got to put in the work. Your communication on the court's got to be at a high level. And you got to represent our team, not just in the building, off the court. Him and John and Tommy Frida have done a great job. Tommy's a great teammate. you guys don't ask me any questions about him, but you know what? He's just as important. 1 through 15 is really important. He's won a championship, so he knows what it looks like day in and day out. I talk to him a lot. I talk to our student managers. You know, our student managers are a big part of our success too, that nobody talks about, right? To win a championship, you got to have a lot of right pieces moving in that direction. That's how it was last year. So I think there's a lot to learn from championship DNA. You know, Louisiana has championship DNA. They got 7 guys, 8 guys that are back from a 27-win team that know what winning looks like, right? Michigan, they know what winning looks like. So I think as you grow your program, those younger guys in your program got to really set the example, not just by talking it, but by their actions.
So individually, how do the skill sets of the guys in this year's group kind of very different from what you saw last year?
You know, we're a totally different team, but there are some similarities. You know, I think we can score the ball, we can shoot the ball, we're skilled, really at all 5 positions, I would say, with this team. So there are some similarities. We got to rebound the ball better, to be honest with you. You know, you knew every night Adrian Nelson's getting 8-10 rebounds. DJ has those capabilities. Ziggy does, I-Man does, Gabe does, EJ does, some of those wings. But, you know, you could pencil Malik Green and AD in for 17, 18 rebounds. So there are some differences from year to year, team to team. But, you know, I think there are some similarities. But, you know, I think we'll try to play more guys this year. You know, we had Shamar last year, and he was plagued with that MCL. So that really kind of messed with our rotations, and then trying to get him back. And, you know, guys, you know how it is. You got to have great cohesiveness, great execution, great toughness, but you got to get lucky, right? There's no doubt about it. You got to be injury free. And we start our journey on Monday. It's exciting. You know, we got our football team right in the hunt for a playoff appearance. I think they're going to do it. You got the women's basketball, men's basketball right around the corner. It's a great time to be here and exciting time.